hang on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. John Hodgkins. Here. Joe Bailey here. Before we begin with anything, I want to talk about the day that we've had here today. At 12 noon, I was part of a statewide conference call involving Homeland Security and Emergency Management, New Hampshire Department of Transportation, New Hampshire State Police, and Governor Sununu, where they talked extensively about the normal precautions that the town is supposed to take. We're blessed with some good leaders in our various departments, so we're okay. The big question, though, is voting. Governor Sununu postponed any questions on that until a 2 o'clock conference call, giving him time to talk with the Secretary of State and the State Attorney General. At 2:15, that meeting, that conference call took place. When I say conference call, it's probably, I don't know, 200-300 of us listening in. It wasn't just me personally. At that time, the governor said, well, this is a pretty confusing topic. The state laws are not at all clear on changing time for voting. Depending on how you read it, the state sets the time to vote, or depending on how you read it, the moderator of each town can change the time for voting. In true politician fashion, Governor Sununu said that his office recommends that we do not change the time for voting. But some towns, if they've already changed it, do not change it back, because that would be even more confusing. He said, if you, town, decide to change the voting, do your utmost to let everybody know about it and encourage the use of absentee ballots. So, who makes a decision for the town of Middleton? It's not the three of us, although you're certainly welcome to ask us questions. It's the moderator, Jack Savage. About 3 o'clock this afternoon, he called me. By the way, he conferred with Rick Washburn during the day and Steve Logic during the day. Jack's decision is voting will be postponed until Saturday at 7 a.m. at the highway garage. At that point, you can vote for any of the candidates until 9 a.m. That's when the town meeting begins. Jack Savage cannot keep track of the ballot box and run the meeting. So at 9 o'clock, he will suspend voting for public officers, run the town meeting until, what, 11:30. When that meeting stops, voting will resume until 5 p.m. Right? After 5 p.m., count the results and so forth. All right? We have posted this on our website. The police have posted on their website. We've put a sign up out here. I put a sign up at the highway garage. Jack Savage is going to sit over there tomorrow morning starting at 5 o'clock, even though it wasn't supposed to open until 7, he wants to get there early, telling people that they can vote on Saturday. I'm going to be there to relieve him after a few hours of sitting. If people cannot attend on Saturday to vote, they have the option of an absentee ballot. They could get that ballot tomorrow. Debbie will be here from 9 till about noontime. When it starts snowing bad, then direct her to go home. She'll be open on Wednesday from 9 to 3, or regular hours for absentee ballots. Thursday from 9 to 3. So if someone was going to vote tomorrow but can't, they can come here, get a ballot, vote right there, seal it, and give it right back. It's not something you have to mail up. You can do it right here in front of Debbie, or in your own privacy, and then they'll be counted on Saturday. All right. Governor Sununu did suggest that the legislature and he really ought to get this mess cleaned up. Okay? Laura, you sat through it. Did I miss anything? Okay. I believe you're darned if you do and darned if you don't. If you change, as we have, from Tuesday to Saturday, you run the risk of someone saying, you've denied me a chance to vote because I have to work on Saturday. Well, we try to address that by having absentee ballots. On the other hand, with expected rate of 3 inches per hour, talking with Rick Washburn, each of his truck routes for plowing takes about 3 hours. So the time the truck leaves and goes out on its route and comes back is 3 hours. If in fact it's snowing at 3 inches an hour, that's 9 inches of snow before the truck can come back and do another run. SUVs might be okay, but most cars are not going to go through 9 inches of snow. So certainly Jack had to consider how safe it would be for anybody to get there. It's further complicated by having the voting in a highway garage where these big plows are coming in and out. People are trying to walk over, get inside the barn. Payloaders out there trying to load snow or load sand into the trucks and plow the area where people are supposed to park. And, that's the call. It's not made by the selectmen, not made by Laura, and Jack has made it, and off we go. Okay, so add to it.
The only suggestion, because it's out of the norm, the absentee ballots. I know Friday's a day off for Debbie and stuff like that, but I would suggest we could open up on Friday for at least a half a day to give the people one more opportunity to get the absentee ballot in.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
will
we
talk
gotta
to
give
her.
every opportunity we need to afford somebody to be able to vote.
Right.
And it may be inconvenient, but again, you can probably get,
Right.
some people an opportunity, so.
Okay.
Maybe, if not Friday, then maybe like an evening, you know, I mean, because some people, 9 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
That would, I would not be opposed to that.
So I'm just saying, so
Right.
Friday, maybe like Thursday evening or Wednesday evening, you know, if someone's here until 5 to 7 or something, I don't know. Because
It is
yeah, I mean,
clear to me that the selectmen cannot offer absentee ballots. That's not part of our jurisdiction. But there might be other people that can besides Debbie, I'm not sure. Supervisor of the checklist. Moderator, I don't know, maybe he can, I don't know. You know, certainly check into that.
I would just suggest.
Yeah, I'm
maybe
gonna see
that's all,
Jack tomorrow.
just because.
He's gonna be sitting out there for a few hours in case someone did not get the word, but they've come to vote. Okay? So, anything else from anybody on that? Latest report, you folks are probably more aware than I am, because I've been here all day. 16 to 24, that sound right? Blizzard warnings are gonna be up, including Stratford County. Winds in excess of 40 miles an hour. And if you wanna take your boat out in the ocean, they're expecting 11 to 15-foot waves. So you might wanna, if you're going out lobstering tomorrow, you might wanna reconsider that.
At least have a 16-foot ball.
That's right. Yeah, those 15-foot boats don't make it in 15-foot waves. Okay, so thank you all for coming. The minutes from the Board of Selectmen meeting of March 6th, please.
I'm making a motion to approve as written.
Okay, second, all right, all in favor? Aye, I've already reviewed them, so good. Opposed? Okay, that one done. Next, the non-public minutes from March 6th. Again, I reviewed them, so in order, from my point of view.
Do it early, makes it easy this time. Read it. I'll make a motion that we accept these non-public minutes as read for March 6th.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, okay.
Moving right along, yeah.
Anyone that wishes to look at the minutes, you'll note that they are the minutes for the meeting, not the meet and greet. That was not part of the official meeting, that was just a chance to meet the candidates, okay?
And those are on the website, correct, Laura?
Right, they'll be on there tomorrow.
Okay. All right, under old business, it does not have anything listed, but I have a few items that to bring up, or new business. Without getting into the details in public, the person that's supposed to show up never showed up. Despite repeated phone calls, never showed up. Did you get a text message? Did you send one?
I sent you an email,
Oh, I
Email?
probably didn't.
probably didn't get it.
Okay, all right. So where do we go from here? John Lamone probably called the person 4 times today, and I'm guessing he'll try tomorrow or Wednesday. I don't know how much activity is gonna be going on anywhere tomorrow.
Right.
All right, so, but you're welcome to stay, but that's the update on that. Who else? Mr. Fournier, I think I spoke to you already, but just so you know, you talked about offering to drive people to the elections. You're welcome to put a note on the board out here, offering to give people rides, okay? It could have been pretty hairy doing it tomorrow. Well, okay? Anything else for old business? New business, elections. I guess we covered that. No, we haven't.
I put that on there to see who was doing what coverage,
Right.
like your chefs.
Right.
Yeah.
I intend to be there all day from 7 to 5 p.m.
As do I, pending any service calls.
Okay.
If I have to leave in the morning, I will, but I'll be back for the meeting.
Good.
I'll be there 7 to 9.
7 to 9 p.m. or 9 a.m.
9 p.m.
7 to 9 a.m.
Okay.
Before it gets heated.
Okay. One other item of new business. Between the three of us, we got to decide who's doing what warrant articles. When I say doing what, the moderator presents each warrant article and then turns to one of the selectmen and says, who's going to talk about this particular warrant article? It helps the moderator to move the meeting along. Okay? So,
Have you guys got your books yet?
Nope.
anybody want a book?
You guys want a town book?
Yeah.
They're out.
Oh.
We get-
In your office, Laura?
Yeah, there's a whole box in there.
Your office open?
Time out?
That I'm not sure.
I think
I can go through mine.
Yeah,
I
you
got,
want
I
my
know it's open. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll bring the
Just bring
whole
one
box.
10.
Anybody heard any news about other towns? I heard
Yeah,
Farmington,
Wakefield.
Northwood's gonna put it off, I believe.
Farmington, 2 weeks.
No, Nottingham is what I'm trying to say. Nottingham.
Okay.
Nottingham.
And you said Wakefield?
Wakefield was on Facebook that they postponed for, I think, what is
Oh,
it,
shit.
16th?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Do you have any questions?
But I might be wrong, I don't remember that, I didn't pay attention, but they postponed.
That's Route 153 and a big snowstorm. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's, actually I asked Joanne where that picture is.
Sorry?
Picture on the front cover. Look familiar?
As a matter of fact.
Oh, is that out to your place?
New Portsmouth Road, right?
Ah, okay.
Is that correct? Okay. So,
Can't recognize the trees.
all right. Yeah, it's New Portsmouth. Anybody know where New Portsmouth Road is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it is. All right, Article 1, nothing to talk about. Article 2 is something you vote on. Article 3, I don't know. I think the Budget Committee is going to be talking about some of this. But if they have questions, they say one of the three of us can answer them. Okay. Article 4, same thing, unless somebody particularly wants it.
So Article 4, are you going to, who's gonna do the increase for the police for that new equipment you brought up last meeting? somebody should start that. Remember how he wanted to increase it, what was it, like 2,500,
Yeah.
3,000 for the new scope things?
Okay.
So that's gonna have to be brought up during that article.
What we can do, we can always refer to the police chief to justify his own, stuff like
he-
that, so.
He should probably speak to
I mean,
that.
Article 3, basically, if you want, I can talk about, it's just our regular budget.
Okay, so Article 4.
I'll give it back.
You can have it, there's plenty of them, we got
Nothing going around.
all kinds of them up there, so.
Alright, Article 4, police fire. Want me to do it?
Yeah, then,
Okay, I'll do it. Article 5, for
moving for,
highways, bridges.
you're the liaison on the highway like that, you can refer to Rick.
Yeah,
So, that's Mike. Health and welfare. Animal control, solid waste. Do you want me to do it?
I mean, it's,
Article 7, Joe?
yeah, I think I'll do
Okay. Article 8, paving roads. Rick will speak to it, but one of us should start with. You want that, Mike, or?
Yeah, I'll start with it.
Okay. Article 9, 10,000 for highway department capital building fund. I'll take it unless someone else wants it.
Go ahead.
All right.
You know.
15,000 ambulance, this is Article 10, $15,000 for the ambulance capital reserve fund.
I'll take it.
Okay, so it's. Now, 11 and 12 are kind of together. It's either one or the other, if I understand it correctly. Article 11 is 5-year lease for 12 self-contained breathing apparatuses. Okay? I'll be glad to take it. But if the town approves number 11, I don't think there's a need for number 12. You folks agree with what I'm reading? So I'll take that one as well. If Article 11 fails, you don't want to spend $104,000. And by the way, there's gonna be some big issues if you don't approve it, because you won't have any self-contained breathing apparatuses to go into the fires. It's pretty serious business. The ones we have are expiring. Right? So Article 12 is to put money in the capital reserve fund. I don't know how you fight a fire, you can't go inside. So I'll do those two. Next page, Article 13.
Take it.
That's
It's easy ones, the easy ones. We do them every year, so.
Yeah. Article 14,
Step it up.
$50,000 for the purpose of paving the old town hall parking lot. Last year, we put 50,000 in. It's a $100,000 job, so we're gonna put 50,000 in this year to get the job started. Anybody? I'll do it.
I won't touch it.
Cemetery, Article 15, 15,000, Middleton Cemetery Capital Reserve Fund. That's
Mike,
mine.
you got it.
Article 16, $1,000 for natural man-made, I'll do that one since that's part of emergency management. 17, authorize a 6-year lease for a rubber-tired excavator. You want that one, Joe?
I can, or Mike, you're
I'll do it because
you're better versed with the equipment, and Rick will be right there to help offset it too as
yeah,
well.
I'll
okay.
get some printouts, I'll get some current prices on it too.
Hey, can I just ask,
Yeah.
does anybody have any idea, like, if you said the last 5 years, how much money we've spent? Because usually Butch is up here doing the work with his excavator. I'd just be curious. I mean, I seen the machine over there. It's a nice, I think, for the money.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've got to do ditch work when you spend the money on roads, but, I'm just wondering, I know Rick had told me he spent $10,000 to lease that excavator, which
which, you know, that's how much it costs.
11.5.
And he was looking at spending that much again because, to finish what he's, you know, and it's a never-ending cycle.
That's right.
But I would just be interested if you could, if there was any way you could break it down, because I know Butch has a dozer up here and, you know, but
Yeah.
excavator typically is $150 an hour and up.
Yeah,
And it's the cost of moving it and everything, I would think it is substantial
yeah.
over the last 4 or 5 years.
Basically, what this comes down to is what we pay to rent right now, every year, it's in the budget to rent it,
Right,
but because of the way it's worded, we can't just take the rental payment and put it into a purchase. So basically, this is the same money that we spend, it just needs to be rewarded so we can actually purchase.
So
And
you're,
then at the end of 5 years,
So
we'll own it.
So basically, if you really wanna look at it, Article 17, if the taxpayers vote to say, yes, go ahead and do this, we can actually take 11.5 out of Rick's operating budget, because now you're paying a payment, so he didn't need that money in his operating budget.
well,
So
are
why
you
not?
gonna be ready to go on that at the meeting? Because I just know that
Yeah.
none of us wanna spend any money because we just spent a whole
But we-
pile of money.
See, the
I
problem
look
is
at
we are
this
spending
as
it
we're
regardless.
actually probably saving money.
Yeah.
I mean, Ed is my cousin, but I've also, I've paid him to do work at my house. He's a first-rate operator, which you didn't have before. You know, those guys can run one, but believe me, Ed really can run one. Does that have a swivel bucket
Yes,
and
it does.
everything with it? It does. So, yeah,
Thank you, lady.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a good machine, I mean.
yeah, it is. It's a
I
nice
think when we
machine.
first looked at it, that was worth over $120,000, they want 69 for it.
Yeah,
And we paid 11.5 last year to rent it.
right,
They're gonna use that rental fee as the first down payment for the first year.
right.
I mean, come on.
I think it's
Crazy.
kind of a no-brainer, but I just also know that, you know, people don't
Yeah.
want to see
You know,
it
out of-
right now.
Meeting, what's gonna happen, yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it's gonna happen, and it's been already put out there that Middleton bought it, and that same deal goes to a few surrounding towns that are ready to jump all
Oh, I'm
over.
sure.
Yeah, there's a list of people waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So,
Yeah.
But basically, the way the rental is worded, we had to change it so we could legally use that money for the purchase.
Right,
It's the same money that we spend every year, except after 5 years we'll own it.
right. But my question was like, over the last 4 or 5 years, I'm wondering how much money we've spent to pay outside contractors, which generally is Butch, and he does nice
Yeah.
work. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I know that you wouldn't have to pay him for most things.
Right.
You know, a rubber tire can't do everything, but it can do most of what they do. You know, and I was just wondering,
just the cost offset.
Right.
that's all. Just-
Yeah, I mean, there will be some, but, I mean, this is basically just a straight across trade-off from our rental payment.
right,
It just needs to be rewritten legally to purchase.
Yeah.
Laura, is there any way between now and Saturday, you can look and see what we, he's right, usually it's, Butch Barron's doing it.
I think Rick probably has all that.
Yeah, I'm sure,
2
I'm
seconds.
sure Rick has
Yeah,
that.
just to show us as an offset.
well, I mean, I just like to say, hey,
Reinforces the idea.
besides the 11.5,
Right.
we spent 25,000 or
Look at
whatever, you
Nicola, the
know.
work they just done in Nicola,
Right.
whatever, I mean, that was basically what they did with that machine, a
Well,
machine like that.
And the other thing, I mean, I know, because I did it for a living now, you spend all this money on the roads, if you can't keep that water from getting up on the road and on the edges of the road,
You're done.
they don't last long, so you really do need one,
The
but,
biggest thing, having it in town too, is the transportation costs back and forth.
right, because it's rubber tired, you
Oh,
wouldn't have to move it, $500 to move one,
But just,
generally.
if you rent it from Concord, then somebody's gotta deliver it from here, from
Sure.
Concord to here and back again.
Yep.
All right, number 18, we'll take that, $6,000 for improved speed limit signs.
I'll take 19.
19 is, chance to pay off the fire department tanker truck early by a few years, I think.
That'll be what, 3 years now, Laura? 4.
I think it's 4.
Okay. Quick explanation so you guys are prepped for Saturday if you come to the meeting. We have X amount of money in the unassigned fund balance. So what we could do is that, the fire truck that we owe 4 years on, we can save the interest money on that loan if we pay it off early, okay? So 4 years of interest, we won't have to deal with. We have $870,000 in the unassigned fund balance, and that money, if the taxpayers vote for it, take it out of there, can pay that off, and that would be about $80-some odd thousand.
Right, so I think the
About
point to
20.
that is, and I saw it here, is, we should point out, which I agree with it, is saying,
The raise
there's
and
no
appropriate.
tax, there's
No
no
tax
tax
impact.
And it'll save, what, about 20,000 in interest?
It's about
Somewhere around there.
5,000 a year.
Because that's,
5,000.
that's
So-
bottom line is,
Right.
Put
how much
20,000
is
in
the impact
interest.
to my tax bill? So if you say.
Nothing
yes-
in, it'll save 20,000 in
Well,
interest.
right, and that's how.
And I think, I mean, if we're trying to be very frugal with the taxpayers' money going forward, this is one way of doing it. We have the money to do it, it won't put the town in a bad way, we still have plenty of money to pay our bills and stuff like that, so,
Yeah, no, but I think
yeah.
the punchline is the no tax
So we
impact.
should highlight that in all the books before we end it.
Seriously, that's what people are gonna look at.
But
If
no,
I
so-
say $80,000, how much is that gonna impact my
See,
taxes?
but that's the whole idea, we want discussion like that, well, you know, then I'll tell them exactly what I just told you, you know.
Right, no, I
So-
mean,
Yeah.
All right, Article 20, it's the $60,000. We've talked about this already, I'll be glad to present it. Me and only have sat here a week ago to see how crowded this room was, and you wonder how it is that we don't do something to get that thing going.
is this the remaining money that's needed?
Yes, to
Yes.
be
It's
matched.
matching money, so that actually is $120,000.
Right, but I mean,
Is this all the money they're gonna use
Yes.
to finish?
Well,
To match
it's
the grant.
needed to finish the
restoration.
building. The kitchen, which was never part of the project,
Right,
needs some work on the floor. Kind of dipsy doodles. Is also concerned that that kitchen is 3 or 4 times too big. You can reconstruct it and have room for some storage there. Okay?
is that part, that's not, the kitchen, is that the old school?
Yes, it is. Right. But we're having a town meeting over in the highway garage, which means they have to bring their equipment out. Oh, they mentioned it's gonna be snowing tomorrow, so there's this concern about where do they bring their equipment if something breaks down, and we actually had a meeting there tomorrow. We're not going to, but clearly there's a need to get the town hall back in working order, so we don't have 40 or 50 people sitting in this little room, all right?
See,
So-
and again, if you read it, it says, the fund balance. So if it's approved, we still have the no taxpayer,
Right.
but the building's done, no matter how we look at it, it is a town-owned building.
Mhm.
So, I mean, sitting there half done or having it complete is two different things.
No, I agree, it should be
So-
done.
Okay,
Take care of that.
that's all I have for new business, but I think, gentlemen, would you like to talk now or more in private about your concerns?
Me?
No, gentlemen, all the way back.
Well, I have no problem. I have a few questions.
Okay, it's up to you. You may do it here in front of everybody, or you may have a
Sure.
non-public meeting with.
Thank you. You were up there today, so you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I was up there reading the emergency plans for tomorrow,
Okay.
but I heard a little bit of what was
Sure.
going on.
My name is Steve Castellano, 24 Avon. I bought my house in 2009, and I was complaining about the taxes. I was able to get, I'm giving you some background so you know where I am now. I was able to finally get the town to send Avatar out to assess it. I wasn't happy with it. I bought the house for 31 grand. They had me like, at that time, I don't know, it was very high. And I had to eat it. You know, I didn't win, that's all. And then last year, in October, the same man from Avatar comes back, and it's the town's appraisal. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Okay. I should ask first if this was the right place, but anyways, he walks in my house and pretty much verbatim, I says, I said bad things about the house. I says, I can't even move the damn walls. It's a half a trailer. He said, what are you talking about? It's a mobile home? I said, it's a trailer with an addition. He says, I'd have to see the beams. I says, you're not asking for anything hard. Within a minute, he had his cell phone under the house taking pictures. My appraisal on my buildings, or on my home, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I have other buildings on the property. 85 grand to 18, basically, in one day. So, then I applied for abatement, and I don't know anything. I'm getting an education up there today. Avatar, the same people that dropped the rate, are in charge of looking at the abatement. They make a decision. I was unaware of this, it was the same company. Anyways, in this year right here, since 2009, I had bought 2 abutters, and I put them in my name. The house is in mine and Vincent's name. So this year, when I bought some other land out of town, I had the title company working. She said, get your name off the house, I'll group them up. Actually, Debbie was helpful with it. No, the person ahead of her. What was her name? The lady from...
Pam Fraser.
Yeah, Pam. Yeah, very helpful. Everything was great. I got my name off it, we got them combined, and I put his name back on. So this year, it went basically, not this year, yeah, it would be 2016. It went from 1 acre to a little less than 19. So you can't compare, I think they got very screwed up in the tax bills. The house itself went from 85 to 18. I don't want to talk about the total evaluation or anything. The house went from 85 to 18. The man
That's
came in...
85,000 to 18,000.
17.9, 85.3 to 17.9. Okay. The man that came in the house was the same man that was there 10 years earlier, or 7 years earlier. He was in October. I think that was when we had the town, okay. I knew about the change by November, no, by November, and I was in town hall applying for the abatement in December. I'm upset, I mean, I didn't, zero. They didn't say anything. The way I worked it out real quick today, speaking to Gwen, it was, if the actual value is like $1,900 for 2015. And they say I can only go back 1 year, which already I'm getting screwed. I think I should be able to go back to when I bought the house, but I got zero. I'm upset about it. I don't know if it sounds fair to you guys. I mean, forget about me joining land together. The house down there that I live in went from 85, well, I don't live in it right now, but I was living in it. 85, I might be living in it again, 85 to 18. 85 to 18, one day.
Okay, so it sounds like you asked for an abatement and it was denied.
Right, by the same company that, but I think they got confused on mixing up the land. It's quite a endeavor for me to go on to the next step.
So you're asking for the 1 year abatement?
Yeah,
So you're asking for a $1,900 abatement.
approximately, could be 18. Whatever the mill rate was in 2015, the price of that house, you know, the difference.
After speaking with Gwen, I checked the law. Not only can the assessor, not her, she's a clerk, she
Right.
cannot do anything with it.
The assessor.
Not only can the assessor recommend to either approve or disapprove of abatement, the selectmen can do the same thing, even though we are not assessors.
All right,
We can look at each case individually and say, this is what should be done based on what's been presented.
obviously I've come to the right place then.
I am, for one, in favor of correcting this,
Oh, I do.
okay? I mean,
I'll make a motion that we grant him the abatement and
Based on advertised
the
numbers.
amount that he's entitled to.
Yeah, they're assessed, you know, basically it's 85.3 to 17
Well,
now.
we'll get the number from Avatar.
Yeah.
Find out exactly what we owe you.
Oh, yeah, well, we were talking,
And we'll
okay.
take care of it. Is that- How much is it?
If you guys have made a vote unanimously to abate, I don't have exact figures, but I
We
can
can get it.
calculate it out.
Okay.
There's interest involved and
Right,
I can give it to Laura and she can
Interest, what do you
produce
mean?
a refund.
We have to give him back interest?
I'm not worried about interest.
Oh, no, no.
It was just the whole
Fair's
principle,
fair.
that there was a slap in the face, you know?
No, fair's fair. Yes, you
Yeah,
didn't know.
if your
and
taxes
so-
are current, you do a refund with interest. If
Okay.
your taxes are not current, whatever your refund would be, you don't get interest, that refund gets applied to the balance.
Perfect.
Okay.
Any way it goes, I'm
We
not,
have a motion on the floor to
I will second.
second. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
thank you for your time.
Congratulations. Gwen, do you have the necessary paperwork to effect this? Or do you need more from him?
No,
So you're okay, he doesn't have to fill out any more forms? Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Might take a few days to process.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
say,
in no rush, I just, I feel vindicated, that's all, I just,
everything going on with the town meeting and so forth, it's certainly not gonna happen tomorrow.
Sure.
It'll be, I don't know, what, Gwen, a week or two?
yeah, it might take a
Okay.
couple.
I feel better, thank you.
That was
Thank
easy.
you for coming. All right, more items before us.
Oh,
Appointment something.
Only,
By the way-
only easy stuff, Gwen.
Second month,
yeah, I know,
second
right.
Monday of the month, we're supposed to have department heads. They report what they've done for the previous month. The selectmen suggested that the top three biggest departments, police, fire, highway, go home and get some rest, because they're gonna need it for tomorrow. And as soon as we told those department heads, well, you don't have to come, it's only fair to tell the rest of them, you don't have to come, okay? I've already talked with Rick, and there's a good chance, when they start plowing tomorrow, they'll go right through the night to work. 24 hours, they have no idea how they're gonna keep up with this much snow. You've done some plowing, I'll bet you've had some 24-hour
Plowing
days.
tomorrow in Rochester, yeah.
Right, but 24 hours straight is a possibility?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
but they do that all the time.
particularly with this much snow.
I think, it sounds like it's gonna be in and out pretty quick.
Right.
It's supposed to be a
24
fast one.
Believe it or not, 24 hours
It's
ain't
gonna
bad.
leave a lot.
It's when they go for 2 days that it's, and at first it was sounding like it might kinda drag out through half the day on
Right.
Wednesday.
When?
I just had a couple of items, I wanted to
Okay.
be here for Mr. Castellano, obviously.
Okay, thank you.
I also had the equalization ratio from the Department of Revenue, we're at 97.9%, which tells us our assessments are a little bit above the market value.
Okay,
Because they do, the assessor does an analysis, they do the equalization report. I convey properties in Civic Ware upstairs, and we determine whether it's a qualifying sale, which is a fair market advertised arm's length transaction, or whether it's an unqualified sale, which would be something like a bank foreclosure or perhaps a family conveyance. And all of that is put together in a report for the Department of Revenue, and it's submitted to them, and they take all that data and they develop a equalization ratio. The range for municipalities to be in the good range is 90 to 1.10. So you're at 97.9, so you're in the range, so you're doing okay.
that's good, all
You're
right,
okay.
thank you.
Yep. And next year's a revaluation, so,
What was this?
and then, the tax map, for cartographics, or CAI now as they're calling themselves. I looked it over, it's status quo, just need some signatures if you guys wanna peruse it here. And there's 2 pages, you need to each sign both pages. One stays and one goes.
Tax map maintenance proposal for 2016 through 17.
Is that the 18th?
Well, it's for 2018, but it covers
Processing
data.
data, right.
Okay, all right. So it's a contract and,
It's 1,900, it went up $200 from previous years.
but we've signed this year after year for the tax maps.
Right,
Okay.
for them to do your work.
And 1,900, okay, good.
We did budget $1,900, and the budget committee agreed, so.
All right, so we okay to sign this? Everyone want a motion that we approve the 2018 tax map maintenance contract?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Let's see, so I guess you want all three signatures on this one.
Yes.
Well, we can do that. You guys sign, we'll write this BOS, it's probably shorter. This is just goes with it. Jim, while we're waiting, everybody's reading. You ever seen 4 inches an hour snow?
I've seen it snow pretty hard.
On that conference call with the New Hampshire DOT, they said it's a possibility that some places in the state will have 4 inches an hour.
Yeah, it looks
That's
like
a fair amount of
40
snow.
mile an hour winds, it's not gonna matter, it's gonna be,
They'll blow everywhere.
yeah. It's, you did the right thing by canceling the vote, for sure. With it snowing that hard, you've never,
I have never driven a payloader, but you're sitting way up there, there's a big bucket in front, and you're trying to scrape a place for the cars to park, and somebody's trying to walk across, and pretty soon they're in the bucket, being dumped into the snowplow. Yeah. I didn't get the vote.
Yeah.
I just hope it's in and out quick.
Yeah. All right, do you need copies, or they'll make copies for her, or whatever you need? Right?
Yeah, we'll be
Okay.
fine.
All right, more items.
What's more?
Under the heading of none of my business, but I haven't heard the radio, canceled school yet?
Oh, I'm sure they
Oh.
I have.
You have you heard already?
No, but my daycare's closed.
Oh.
I'm not
Okay.
doing well.
Tammy says, I'm sleeping
That's
in.
it.
I'm sure they have, I know like Liberty, they've already closed the office for tomorrow, they closed it, they sent out an announcement around 3:30 today.
Yeah.
Portsmouth, Dover, and,
You can see on the scrolly thing like that, on the bottom of the TV on MUR and stuff like that. It's like, Tammy, I asked her, they cancel stuff like that. She says there's a lot of stuff on coming across, and mostly business like that, but no school, whatever. By the time you get home tonight, you see all the school
Yeah,
closings
it'll
and
be
stuff
on.
like that, so.
I know the storm
yeah.
will not hit when the kids are going to school.
They haven't yet.
When I
No, they won't till morning.
spent a long time teaching, and we made the mistake, we had a big school with 1,100 kids in 3 grades. Got everybody to school, and by 11 o'clock, we decided to send the kids home early at 1 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, it was snowing so hard that the buses couldn't even get to the school to pick the kids up to bring them home. Most kids stayed in the building until close to 7 o'clock at night because the buses couldn't get through, the parents couldn't get through. Never again. That school, never again decided to go to school and then cancel. They just canceled ahead of time. Much safer.
Who makes the call for the elementary school?
Superintendent at, well, it's our superintendent, which I guess is Wolfboro's superintendent as well.
Oh, okay.
They're not canceled either, don't they, Robert?
Yeah, they will be.
There's 566 closings.
Well, I don't think it's really supposed to start till about 8 o'clock, and then
Right.
But
it
that's,
won't get winding probably for 3-4 hours,
Yeah.
but, and just exactly, I've seen it happen, you know, I worked for Rochester for
Right.
8 years, and I've seen them do the same thing, you know, wait, and then, wow, what a mess, you know, to try to get them home. It's not safe, I'd much rather keep them home than try to get them
Right.
home.
Well, it's not only that, it's not just the buses, but all the associate, like the teachers, all the other stuff that goes along with schools that, you know,
Parents.
open and stuff like that. I mean, everybody's just home, there's a lot of
The
traffic off
crazy
the road.
thing, I guarantee you, if this was on a Friday, those guys would be headed north. I don't care how, I used to plow 16 from exit 16 to the Irvin station. And man, I couldn't believe that they would go out in that weather. And, you know, sometimes the governor of Massachusetts would shut the roads down.
Right.
And it would be so nice, you'd be out there and actually you could plow, you know, because there wouldn't be much traffic. But yeah, people are crazy to drive in summer. And you know, yeah, I'm talking, you know, 2 inches an hour is you can't see,
Right.
you know. And after that, it don't matter, it could be 10 inches an hour. When you can't see, you can't
You
see.
can't see, right?
Right.
Now that I'm retired from teaching, I can own no part in this occurring, but when our school, it's down in White Plains, New York, when it canceled, teachers were notified usually at 5:30 in the morning. By 6 o'clock, I had a car full of people to go skiing. And I drove through the snow to go right up into the mountains and went skiing for the day. Okay, now, I had no part in closing the school, but as long as it was closed, get in the car and go. Growing up in New Hampshire, it doesn't bother me to drive in the snow.
Not by me either.
No, but I'm talking most of these people don't. I mean, literally, I probably have seen thousands of cars off the road right there on that stretch.
Yeah,
Maybe 6 or 8 of them at a time.
yeah,
You know, they'd no sooner get them off and they'd be nonstop for, you know,
Yeah.
10 hours.
You
Just
haven't
one
had
after
any fun
another.
really at all until you've been down in Amarillo, Texas when a blizzard blew through.
oh, jeez, they don't plow at all, do they?
They don't even know what plows are,
Oh,
unless it's a.
we got stuck
foggy
at the
overnight.
military base, which was 13 miles from town. It was a
Right.
Christmas party, we were there, and we went outside,
it's not a
and it
Christmas
started
party.
snowing. So it snowed, I'm from New England, what's the big deal?
Panic in the streets, right?
So, along about 10 o'clock, we decided, well, we better start heading home. So we started home. It took us 2 hours to drive 13 miles.
Wow.
One time the wind cleared and we looked at where we were, more or less following some of the tracks in front of us and guessing we were pretty much on the road. The wind cleared, we saw we were between a tree and a telephone pole, so we're back onto the road.
Oh,
The
geez.
next morning, the sun came out, the snow melted, you could hardly tell that it had snowed at
Yeah.
all. And we drove back to the base to do our shopping. And there's a car out in pasture about 50 yards, there's 2 in the ditch over here, there's one way out there about 100 yards in the cow pasture.
Wow.
That
I
was
know we
fun.
all got our story, but when Tam and I first got married, I was in New Mexico, Gallup,
Same thing.
and she had this little Nissan Pulsar, right, front wheel drive. My neighbor, you better go on down and get some stuff because we got a big blizzard coming, you might not get out for 3 or 4 days. And Tam and I said, well, it's no big deal, you know, that's a normal occurrence from New England, that's not a big thing. So, yeah, okay, we'll go in town. So it started snowing. I think there's probably 6 inches and they hadn't plowed yet. That little Pulsar just plowing right through the snow. We go to the store, get a quart of milk and some bread. Then we turn around and stand around the parking lot doing whoopie-doos and drive back, you know, about 4 miles out of town. And so it's like, the road was also, there's nobody on the roads at all. Cops were out, nobody was out.
Yeah, 'cause they don't
I've
know
seen them
how to drive it.
tying tires and inner tubes to the front and sides of their vehicles. Because they knew they were gonna hit something, at least the backs.
Yeah.
Whoopie cushions.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other tall tales for us tonight? Otherwise, we can go home and watch the TV channels try to outdo each other. If this one says 16 inches, oh, this is 18 for sure. You know, and, oh, this one, oh no. The storm's gonna last 3 days, not 1 day. All right. Anything else?
Yeah.
Cool.
Motion for adjourn,
Motion to adjourn at
7:19. I don't know, Dave, do you want non-public folks?
I just wanna ask a quick question.
All right,
I don't
so
need to
we'll-
know about it.
So I need a second.
Okay, Not a whole meeting, or just?
No, I just need to ask.
All right, so, yeah, so we'll
Get up, get up and get out of here. Oh, you're gonna put up the chairs? I got
All
you.
in favor?
I'm trying to get out of your way and I'm in your way.
Thank you for coming, folks.
I'm glad.